Line. Brought to you by Polydent. New effervescent power for denture wearers that cleans years off your dentures. Polydent. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now, from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you. And now that witty, debonair young man who, with his glorious wife, Jane, will soon be opening at the Thunderbird in Las Vegas. But we have him tonight, Steve Allen.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce a young lady, always one of your favorite columnists, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Tonight, we're very proud to have a doctor in the house. He received an honorary degree from Washington and Jefferson University yesterday, Dr. Bennett, sir.
It's Washington Jefferson College. I will be university someday.
I upgraded it a little bit.
Well, it's a wonderful place. I've met nicer people in my life. And speaking of nice people, here's one of the nicest in the world, John Charles Davis.
Thank you, Doctor. Gee, I like that. I don't know who prescribed the medicine, but I like the medicine. Thank you very much, Bennett. That's very nice of you. Steve Allen, very good to see you in your old familiar place.
Thank you, John. Nice to be here.
And we have some familiar things for you to play with, some very interesting occupations. We will also have a famous mystery guest before my friends on the panel a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this word. And now to meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Lola Morrow, right? Miss or Mrs. Morrow? Mrs. Morrow, and where are you from?
Windsor, Connecticut.
Windsor, Connecticut. That's where you were born? Well, you're practically a neighbor then, coming from that country. All right, Mrs. Morrow, may I present the panel? And now, would you join me over here, please, and we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Morrow is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin with Steve Allen.
Mrs. Morrow, do you perform your service equally for men and women?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Gives you choice.
Yeah, it gives me a terrible choice. It's like, vive la choice, huh? Do you perform it mostly for men?
Yes.
Does it make them happier and better off?
I think so.
Do they come to you?
Yes.
Do you work indoors?
Yes.
Do you wear something other than a daytime street dress type of costume when you work?
No. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Morrow, do you work by any chance for a non-profit-making organization?
Yes.
Would it be any government agency, either local, state, or national?
Yes.
Did you have anything whatever to do with the recent orbiting of the astronauts?
Yes.
Golly, what? Do you do your work on land?
Yes.
You do it inside rather than out on the open field?
Yes.
Have you anything whatever to do with the system of computers that has something to do with regulating the flight of the orbit ship?
No.
No, not specifically. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Mrs. Morrow, do you have anything to do with the well-being of the astronauts?
Well, I'm going to put all
care.
the cards over. I would agree that certainly the contribution that Mrs. Morrow makes adds to the sense of well-being of the astronauts, because Mrs. Morrow is the secretary to the Gemini astronauts and works down at Cape Kennedy in Florida. And Alan Shepard, who made the first suborbital flight in 1961, is her immediate boss. But she's worked with Lieutenant Colonel now, isn't it? Lieutenant Colonel McDivitt and Lieutenant Colonel White and Lieutenant Colonel Grissom and...
let's see.
Lieutenant is Young?
Oh, yes, Lieutenant Commander Young.
Lieutenant Commander Young. Well, actually, all of them.
New crew coming up.
You got a new crew coming up for the Gemini 5. That'll be who?
Major Cooper and Lieutenant Commander Conrad.
And Lieutenant Commander Conrad. And when they come from Houston, and they're always in transit, you know, the men come a long time before a shot, why, Mrs. Morrow has the joy, and I'm sure a great deal of pleasure out of working with these wonderful men.
What sort of secretarial work does it involve?
Oh, it's sort of all around management more than anything. Public relations and taking care of their mail, and we have porters, and where they're staffed, and take care of that. And it's rather a varied job, and there's no routine day.
How does their fan mail run?
Pardon?
I mean, after they've made a shot, after they've orbited, about how many fan letters do they get?
Oh, they get baskets
Must be a
and
lot.
buckets and everything, and that's all sent out to Houston to be answered.
But Commander Shepard is sort of representative of the fine group of men that they are. He helped Mrs. Morrow get her work cleaned up so she could come to New York and join us, which I think is wonderful.
Yes,
Will you give him our thanks and our
certainly will.
great congratulations to all of your colleagues? Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what happens with our second contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Robert Scanlon, right, sir? All right, Mr. Scanlon, where are you from?
Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Arlington Heights, Illinois. Nice to have you with us. May I present the panel, Mr. Scanlon? And now, if you'll join me over here, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, I can tell you that Mr. Scanlon is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Scanlon, is it a product that any of us on the panel might have?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Would we derive a certain amount of pleasure from it?
I don't believe so.
No, I can't think of it as giving you pleasure. No, that's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Allen.
Would it come into contact with our bodies when used?
No.
While in use, you mean? This, I'm going to give you a no anyway, but I just want to cover out, you know, in applying or putting it to use, we will agree that you might come in contact then, but not in the actual process of use. Right. All right, Miss Kilgallen.
Would you mind saying that again, John?
No, I just didn't want you to think that this was something you'd never come in contact with. In using it, you know, just normally, in every case, you come in contact fleetingly with something, but not in the process of actually getting the benefit of its use would you necessarily come in contact with.
Well, in other words, it's more or less used on something or on someone, but it doesn't have to be
I mean,
you?
that's up to you to find out. I was just saying that I wish I'd never said it. That's all.
You've got to know. All right, Mr. Scanlon.
I do.
Is this solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
Is it something that I would recognize if you brought one out here on stage?
Yes.
Beginning to sound pretty esoteric. Does it have any movable parts? Or
No.
moving parts?
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Scanlon, we haven't established the size of this product, have we? Is it, are you able to lift it? Is a human being able to lift it?
Mm-hmm.
Without too much trouble?
No
No trouble.
No trouble. Does this product do anything to improve anything?
Well, now, that's a very interesting question. We'll have a small conference.
You want to be fair, John.
You know, since he became a doctor, I have to watch very carefully what I say. Improve something. He said improve, didn't he? Yes. Well, that makes it 4 down and 6 to go. Miss Francis.
But does it do something to something? And is what it does helpful?
Yes.
Is it helpful to the thing as well as to yourself?
It is helpful to the thing, yes. And because it helps the thing, we would have to consider that it would be helpful to you.
Is it ever used in repairing anything?
No. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Allen.
I think in your neighborhood, sir, they race horses. Does that have any bearing whatsoever on what we're talking about?
No, I don't believe so.
Nope.
No?
Nope. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Mr. Scanlon, I don't really want to be difficult about this, and John, I don't wish to, but we now have a product that gives no pleasure and doesn't improve anything, but it does something. It helps. It helps. Does it have a physical effect on anything or anybody?
If not, let's
rather
get rid
than
of
a mental or emotional effect?
Yes.
Does it touch the thing that it helps when it's helping it?
Possibly it
It
could.
could.
Or does it emit anything or squirt or, send forth anything, even anything like a ray, if not a liquid, which might help or do something?
Yeah?
It does?
Yeah! I thought that would shake you up a bit.
No moving parts. May I assume it is not electronic?
Yes.
Then it's just something that an average non-astronaut could have around the house, huh? Or around the outside of the house, I mean. Have we just established
That hasn't been determined, actually.
It could be in the house, right?
Yeah.
Could it be outside the house, too?
Could it be outside the house, too?
Or something similar to it?
Yes, it could be.
Does something that is like a liquid issue forth from this thing?
No.
No. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
In other words, it squirts something, but not a liquid.
That's what you said. I don't know. We didn't say anything of the kind. We agreed in a succession of verbs, among which was squirt, that one of them might apply here.
Who are you calling?
And don't you call me a little squirt.
Mr. Scanlon, is there anything dangerous in this product of yours?
You mean in human terms?
Would it hurt either a human or an animal? Or is it used?
Yes.
Is it used in connection with animals?
Could be.
Yes?
Yeah. Now, again, you're using the word animal here as defining animal as separate from vegetable and mineral, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Is it now used, defining it more closely, might it be used on either horses, dogs, or animals of that description?
No. 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Francis. Going to give you 1 more minute.
Then is it used on a small animal?
A small animal. Yeah. As you're using animal
As
here.
opposed to his horse. Would it be used on something that might even be sometimes identified as an insect?
Yes.
Bijou got bugs, everybody do. Is it used to do away with these insects or bugs?
Yes.
Is it like a like a flit gun?
Is it a flit gun?
Is it something that does away with like a spray gun? Yes.
No, that's 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Allen.
Does it kill insects?
Yes.
Makes
Then-
them unhappy anyway.
Then it's a peculiar squirting insect killer.
Remember that we haven't got any squirt. I'm going to throw the towel, and you're so close to it, you sugar. What
like a spray?
would first come to mind in
Fly
summertime
swatters.
when you're putting your clothes
Fly
away?
swatter?
And you want-
Mothballs.
Mothballs, right. Mr. Scanlon is the Director of Manufacturing of Eno's Products, which is a division of the Borden Chemical Company. And they're the largest makers of
That's
mothballs, flakes, and that kind of thing. So there you are, and it has an official name. Do you want to take a shot at it? Because I have no intention of... What is the chemical name for it?
The gas.
Paradichlorobenzene is
Oh.
the item we use most.
Oh, that's grand. Yeah, what'd you say that was?
Everybody's got that.
Do that again?
I got it out once.
You got it out once. That's double jeopardy, and you don't see why you should be put in double
That's
jeopardy.
something every little Martha should know.
That's right.
Every little Martha should know. Well, thanks very much. Thanks a lot, sir. It was nice to have you with us. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment. And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger. With the blindfolds in order, are the blindfolds all in place panel?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? Panel, different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and we will begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Are you a motion picture star?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Is there only one of you in that chair next to Mr. Daly? I mean, only one mystery guest. I'm going to amend that. There might be somebody standing behind.
Yes.
What? There's
Yes.
only what?
Miss Francis?
Are you a television performer?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Do you do comedy? Specialized?
Miss Kilgallen?
I hope so.
Are you a man?
Yes.
Mr. Sir?
Have you ever performed on a panel show?
Yes, I have. Miss Francis?
Whoever it is getting weaker every minute. Do you have a regular television program?
Yes.
Mr.
Got
Allen?
stronger on that.
Would it be safe to say that your program appeals primarily to, say, people under 20?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you have red hair?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
Have you ever written a book for children?
Yes.
You Henry Morgan?
Miss Francis? Then 4 down and 6 to go. You get counted out on that one, Bennett.
Henry hasn't done as well as this fellow, if it's who I think it is. Is it Art Linkletter?
Yes. And they think Art the kids say the darndest things now.
Yeah.
That was the title of his book. That's funny. That's wonderfully funny.
I thought you had me there, Bennett.
I did, too. You don't publish him.
Especially since
You
he's
don't publish Mr. Linkletter.
We distribute his books. Brian
Oh.
Guy's published.
A week from Tuesday, he's going to have another regular television show, Talent Scouts, at 8:30 p.m. on CBS.
Good.
In
Hollywood.
Yeah, in Hollywood. It's going to be where the Red Skelton program is now, and that'll be a lot of fun. Can I make you proud, Father? A week ago Saturday, I worked with a young man on a program called Miss USA in Florida, and I shall be working with him again in about 5 weeks on Miss Universe named Jack Linkletter. You know him?
Yes, I do.
Well, he's awful good, because that is a tough job that he does down there. He does it with bounce and enthusiasm and accuracy and a very genuine young man. You should be very
I'm
proud
very
of him.
pleased about Jack, and the nicest thing that was said about any of the reviews I read about that show was that in the midst of what is quite customarily a lot of banality in beauty shows, He came through as an MC without a phony bone in his body,
Not
and
a
I think that's the
single bit.
nicest thing that can be said about any MC.
He was just great, and he's got the ebullience of spirit, which he got from his father, I'm afraid. Pop's got that, too, but he's a joy to work with, Dad, I'll tell
And
you
I
that.
hope he has a good, steady show.
Well, I hope so, too.
Art.
We're working again soon.
Art, did you mention the name of your new book? I don't recall it.
My new book, just out, is A Child's Garden of Misinformation, harvested by yours truly. And I think you have something to do with it, haven't you?
I'm very proud to distribute that book.
Steve, I hope you're going to be on the Talent Scout sometime this summer, because you've discovered loads of great talent in the many years you've been a star.
Well, thank you, Art. I'd be glad to, anytime.
First show, we have Debbie Reynolds and
I discovered her,
Liberace
yeah.
and Eartha Kitt. We'd like to have you along one of the weeks.
It's a deal.
You have a protege that you're currently excited about?
Oh,
His wife.
I got about 100 of them. I'll have to narrow it down.
He'll find one, Art, anyway.
I love his hairdo, don't you?
Oh, boy. He's something. And much success with his service. Good to see you. Well, you've done very well so far tonight, panel, so we'll give you some congratulations and have another contestant after this work. And now a final contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Beryl O'Malley, right? Miss or Miss? Okay, we're a little short of time. It's Miss O'Malley, and where are you from?
Parsippany, New Jersey.
Parsippany, New Jersey. Would you join me, panel, Miss O'Malley? You join me over here. We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we're testing your speed as well as your perspicacity. We'll tell you that Miss O'Malley is self-employed and deals in a service, and we'll begin with Bennett, sir.
Miss O'Malley, I take it in no relation of Mr. O'Malley, who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. None at all.
No, no.
And was it a product or a service? I didn't.
Service.
Service. Is this a service that is performed for both sexes, Miss O'Malley?
Yes, it is.
Do you come in contact with the people for whom you perform this service?
Yes.
No, he means physical contact. You don't do that.
no.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Is your service for any particular age group?
No.
Nope, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Allen.
Do you function in some advisory capacity?
Nope, that's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Miss O'Malley, you look very jolly. Is your service a jolly one?
It can be, yes.
It can be, but would not be so described, I don't think. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. O'Malley, do you ever have anything to do with children?
No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you demonstrate anything in your work?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Allen.
Any connection with the entertainment world?
Nope, 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work indoors?
Sometimes.
You can work out of doors. Do you wear ordinary attire in your work rather than a costume?
Well, we'd say work clothes, yes.
Can you wear something like a coverall more than a costume?
Yes.
Do you work with any tools of any sort?
Yes.
Can a man do what you do?
Yes.
Do men often do what you do?
Yes.
Is it anything around a house or a construction site?
Yes.
Are you in the construction business?
Yes.
Painting, paper hanging, anything like
Well,
that?
that's close.
Plumbing?
It's not in the construction business, actually. That we misled you. It's window washing.
Oh.
Miss O'Malley does both private and commercial work up to the 3rd floor. Doesn't do the big scaffolding jobs. And thanks very much for puzzling the panel. Nice to have you here with us, ma'am. Good night. Steve, as always, it's a joy to see you in that place. Hope we see you back again real soon. And panel, with your permission, because I used up all the time, for all of us, may I say thanks to all of you for being with us on What's My Line?